trash, garbage, rubbish, basura, lixo, whatever your language. If these are words that can be used to describe your love life, today's video is probably for you. Today we're talking about some of the ways that the planet Neptune can destroy our love lives. Okay? But it's okay. We can come back from it. If you think Neptune may be a culprit in why your relationships suck, then stay tuned. You may be entitled to compensation. Today we'll discuss what Neptune does to us and what safeguards we can put into place to better shield ourselves from disappointment in love. So stick around. Hey homies, my name is Ebony and you've reached the Homegirl Astrology YouTube channel where we support and uplift Black women in learning how to use astrology as a self-awareness tool to aid in transformation of their lives, especially when it comes to love, career, finance, and life purpose. Please like, share, and subscribe. If any of this interests you, remember to turn on the notification bell so that you can be made aware of things as soon as they come out. Okay, so let's get into this. What is Neptune? And what does it represent from an astrological standpoint? So I won't go too deeply into the planet Neptune today just because it deserves its own video, but it is a planet of idealism, imagination, illusion, self-delusion, disillusion, disappointment, and ultimately escape. Its principle is to dissolve barriers, being capable of raising us to mystical experiences or pulling us down into chaos and confusion. So on its own, that is a lot. And you can just begin to imagine what that looks like when it comes into our love lives, right? Into a love scenario. So let's look at a few different options of what that can look like. And we'll start with our first one, which is the Venus-Neptune combination. All right, so in astrology, Venus is a general significator or representative of love and romance. Neptune and Venus can come together in a few different ways in the astrological birth chart. So just get a little technical for 2 seconds. You can come together by declination, conjunction, some other aspect, contraintuition or intuition. And we can also experience Neptune by transit as it moves through its orbit in the sky and touches on either our Venus placements in the chart or it touches with Venus as it's in its own orbit as well. Okay, so back to what that all means. So today we'll focus primarily on the pain points from this combination because you're here because your love life sucks, right? So with Neptune and Venus coming together, we can see a mistaken sense of love. We see indecision, uncertainty, a character that is seductible, so you're easily seduced. We can see erotic aberrations as well. So maybe your sex organs look a little bit different, look a little weird, a little nebulous in some way. Someone with this combination could also be inclined to mysticism, romantic reverie, a poorly developed sense of reality. You may also have difficulty realizing your wishes, or you may wake up from this feeling of emotional infatuation with feelings of disappointment or disillusionment. So essentially you're a sucker for love. You're someone who feels love drunk when you're in the moment and then you wake up with a love hangover, okay? There's just a sense of an idealized sense of love. There's self-sacrifice in love. You're engaging in these beautiful illusions and fantasies to which you can become potentially addicted because Neptune can be tied into a sense of addiction because you want to escape into something, so you're escaping into love. That can lead to confusion in love and relationships. There's impracticality as well that comes along with it because when you're dying to escape into something, when you're addicted to it, you know, that impracticality definitely comes through, right? There's sort of an ability to use your intuition to know what your loved one needs because you're so enwrapped in them. I don't know if enwrapped is a word or if it just be enraptured, but you're just someone who's a romantic idealist. We see someone who's writing their name and their partner's name on their notebook in high school or maybe even in adulthood. I'm not judging. I've done it myself, okay? There's a sense of puppy love and just kind of fantasizing about love. What you're here to learn is to purify and refine your ability to love. So you're developing the ability to see through the illusions that are existing in your life and into the eternal value and beauty that underlies everything. So we transition from a search for romantic love and that puppy love to more of a sense of universal and almost agape kind of love. And it's not just you, it's not just me that go through this. How many songs are there about love in the world? Okay. Right? How many? Can't count them. Like, how many people have won Grammys, or other awards because of their treatments of love in popular music or popular cinema? So don't feel bad or guilty about this, right? Mariah Carey, one of her most popular songs is Dream Lover, right? Because we're always bringing love and dreams together. Dreams are Neptunian things. Love is a Venus thing. We're bringing it together, okay? But you have to be careful because your dream lover can quickly turn into dreams and nightmares by, hashtag Meek Mill. All right, so just think about how to take off those rose-colored glasses every once in a while just to check yourself, okay? We're going to talk about that in a minute, but let's move on to our next Neptune love scenario. Okay, number 2 is Neptune in the 7th house. So the 7th house is a house that connects marriage, business partners, open enemies. With Neptune in the 7th house, you have a very receptive nature, high ideals, and you kind of have this ability to be unrealistic, essentially, when it comes to your partners, because being the 7th house, the house of your marriage partner, Neptune being there, you're bringing in that sense of like not being realistic, that lack of boundaries, and ultimately that leads to disappointment or errors in love and all the other stuff that I've already mentioned. A lot of that will come through as well with this Neptune being in the 7th house. We just don't see the things sometimes that our partners are doing. We don't see them for who they really are. I've seen this with people that I know. Their partners are objectively trash from the outside. On paper, they are trash people, but for whatever reason, these people are so stuck in love with whoever their partner is, even though everyone around them is like, I don't know about this one. Like, we ain't gotta do it. You don't have to be with this person. You don't have to get out. But no, they're stuck. That Neptune holds them there. So moving on. Gonna move on from the 7th house. That was depressing enough. We'll move on to Neptune conjunct the 7th house Lord. All right, so this definitely is going to get a little bit advanced into the astrology. So this requires you to understand house rulership. So the house ruler of the 7th house, whatever planet that is, be it Mars, be it Venus, be it Saturn, whoever, when that planet is in a conjunction with Neptune, when they're together in the sky or making some other aspect together, then we start to see those Neptunian qualities that I mentioned before. Disappointment, disillusionment, deception even. We see those things rub off on our marriage partner or whoever our partner is. Okay, so that's something to look out for in the chart. Neptune conjunct the 7th house Lord. And again, it brings in those same qualities of what I mentioned with Neptune, but at the same time, you're mixing those with the qualities of whatever that planet happens to be, whatever L7 or the Lord of the 7th house happens to be. If it's Mars, then it's maybe someone who's a bit more aggressive and bringing that aggressiveness to Neptune. So maybe they are like hardcore drinker or very aggressive when it comes to dreaming, or they dream all day every day, so you start to see those Neptune qualities rub off. All right, so what can you do about it? I know that was a lot. Your heart's probably broken because I've just shot down your dreams, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Here we're going to talk about what you can do. All right, so one thing, because Neptune does tend to have this sense of like blinding us to what's actually happening because we're drowning in our feelings and our love, it can help for us to reach out to our friends, our loved ones who know us well and who are able to see through the other person's like vibe or persona. You need that outside perspective sometimes when Neptune is clouding our judgment, because that's exactly what it does. We're so deep into it that we can't separate ourselves because there's no boundaries. We can't separate ourselves from the situation to see it with like an appropriate perspective. So involve your friends, like let people meet your friends, please. Please. Let people meet your friends. Let your partner meet your friends. And then, be open to hearing what your friends say. You don't have to go along with your friends all the time in their opinions, but it is helpful to seek an outside perspective in these cases. The second thing you can do, set boundaries for yourself. Make a commitment to yourself to like set checkpoints for the relationship or for the person. So maybe that could look like, having deal breakers. Actually having deal breakers. You don't need to have a ton of them, but if there's something that you know is important to you and this person just doesn't meet that qualification, then they should probably not be a part of your life, at least at this point, until that deal breaker changes, okay? Set a boundary. This is not the only person in the world. There are lots of other people in the world, lots of other fish in the sea. So it's okay if this person doesn't meet your expectation. Ultimately, if they don't meet your expectation and you continue to hold this expectation over time, you're just going to end up disappointed anyway. That's what Neptune does. It disappoints you. So set up a boundary, okay? Set expectations with your partners as well. Be clear on what you need from them, but also be realistic about what somebody else can reasonably do for you and what they're willing to do. Remember that your partner is an individual with their own hopes, dreams, desires, and needs. So they likely can't be at your beck and call 24/7. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put it out there like that, but it's real, okay? I'm sorry. They have other things to do sometimes. Now, should you be their last priority? No. Should you be their first priority? We'll see. But yeah, just be realistic about what people can do for you. But again, set the expectation. Hey, I need such and such from you. But you also have to accept that they may say no to that expectation. So that's something that you have to talk through. But the point is to set the expectation so that they know what you expect from them, so that they can decide whether or not that's something that they're open to going forward with. A lot of times we grow up in a home where boundaries are not modeled, so we don't learn how to establish them ourselves as adults. So I'm going to do another video about boundaries, but the key thing here for people with these Neptune love placements to learn is that you do need to set boundaries. You do need to be upfront about your expectations with your partners, and you need to be open to hearing what their expectations for you are as well. All right, so again, I went pretty dark on Neptune today. I will say that there are some great things that come with being a Venus and Neptune person or having these Neptune placements, and that is Neptune and Venus together can represent beauty, glamour, dreaminess. It can represent a career or an interest in film or photography or acting. It can represent good taste or being a creative designer. So it's not all bad, but I did want to at least speak to some of the relationship stuff because I know that can be hard for folks. All right, feel free to comment below if this connected with you in any way. Feel free to go back and watch the What is Astrology video just to learn more about astrology and how it can impact you. The content here is flowing pretty steadily, so get involved. Turn on notifications so you can know when things are posted. And if any of these things in this video that I mentioned today sound like something you've experienced, you might just want to have an astrology reading. Just saying, it might be a good investment for you. So you can visit us at homegirlastrology.com. Through the website, I'm offering one-on-one astrology readings to share individualized astrological insights. Sign up for the mailing list there as well to be the first to learn about new offerings. I'll include a link in the bio for easy access. So again, comment, like, share. Let me know what other things you want to hear about. Thanks for watching. Bye.